All right. What is up, guys? Anthony Trevelliante here from Trav Media Group. And what I'm going to do over this next few minutes is break down our Webflow migration package and process and explain to you kind of who it's best for, what the benefits are. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you our guarantee, which I recommend you sit and wait for because most agencies don't guarantee you anything, which is what we do differently here at Trav Media Group. So what is this migration plan? So the migration plan is best suited for companies who are looking to build a better foundation for their website. So on our other pages, you'll see the full build that we do. That's kind of if you're ready to really evolve your brand. But some people, whether it's budget reasons or, you're just happy with what you have, but it doesn't perform very well, or it's hard to use, or, you're struggling with plugins. That's what this is for. So what we'll actually do is move about 80% of your website over without changing the design, without changing the copy. We'll kind of just clean it up and bring it over to the Webflow platform. And what that's going to do for you is, it's going to boost your performance almost immediately. You're going to have less code. You're going to have no plugin bloat. It's going to be easier to use, and it's going to be secure. So if you're battling with security, if you're battling with plugins, if you're pulling your hair out trying to manage your website and just make simple updates, or if your website is just a slow, bloated code machine, this migration will solve all of those problems. So you don't need to invest in crazy fixes, and the funny thing, I'm going to go a little off script here, but the funny thing is so many agencies will charge you to fix these things on your website, but the cost you're going to pay them to fix it is going to almost be the cost that you pay us. And our websites come with zero maintenance. So you're going to fix that ease of use problem. You're going to fix that performance problem. You're going to fix all the annoying security issues, and you're not going to ever have to pay us again to keep the website secure. So Webflow. What is Webflow? Webflow is our chosen platform of web development. I could probably spend an hour and a half talking about why, but it kind of addresses back to those core things we talked about. It performs better. It is easier to use for the client. It is 100% secure, and it is fast. So we have chosen that because businesses need speed. Businesses need to make decisions quickly. They can't be wasting money on silly things like maintaining a falling apart website. Webflow is built to scale. So rather you do this with us, or you rebuild, or when you're ready to go into our lead gen package, or you choose to go work with someone else, this website should be able to be built upon, not constantly being fixed. We have a belief here that a website is never finished. It is always being added to. So that's kind of how we choose to build our website. So again, with this plan, it's built for speed. So your site's going to be fast out the gate. So there's no tweaking. There's no toying around with plugins and all those different things to kind of speed your site up. It's all baked in. It's all handled. The other thing we do is manage your current SEO. So what a lot of web developers will not do is they don't understand SEO and migration and maintaining keywords and all that fun stuff. So they will rebuild your website, but you'll lose some of these string terms and you'll lose some of these weird URLs that WordPress sets. And if you don't properly migrate those over, Google will degrade your site. Or if you don't do a proper migration, Google may look at it as a duplicate website, which is even worse. So what we do is make sure your SEO does not break, which is something a lot of these mass marketing agencies and web developers fail at, which is unfortunate. And the last thing is there's no plugins, there's no maintenance, and there's no bloat. So again, you're not paying us a maintenance fee. Most companies pay $300 to $800 a month to have their WordPress site maintained and updated. That is not a thing with us. There are no plugins. So your security, your designer, your SEO, all of that is handled in Webflow. There's no Yoast, there's no Elementor, there's no Imagify to shrink your image down. It's all handled for you, which speeds up your website because every time you add a plugin, you add code. And you also add a back door to your website, which leads into security. If you have a plugin that gets compromised, which even the biggest plugins like WooCommerce have been compromised, someone can get into your website, and that could compromise customer data, that could compromise the website as a whole. You could be installing viruses on other people's machines, all things you don't want to deal with that are completely eliminated by Webflow. So why clients choose us, again, it's preserving the rankings and authority. It's that speed boost. It's because Webflow beats WordPress virtually 9 out of 10 times. And again, you have zero maintenance required. So I always like to say that Webflow is the platform for the client. WordPress is the platform for the developer. So a lot of these agencies and developers, they are so stuck in their ways and have their processes. And a lot of them use companies overseas. There's an agency called the White Label Agency that a lot of mass marketing agencies sub out to. So they're not even designing it in-house. They're just planning it for you. And then they're sending it overseas where there's longer turnaround times. You're trusting other people that aren't even in the agency you paid for to do this work for you. All no bueno. We work with subcontractors, but everything is built in our house in Trav Media Group. We're not relying on some third party to do the work for you that could not be as good. So on this page below, there's a bunch of data. So you can see a double speed performance at the bottom. Well, virtually double. It's 1 point under. You can see the total clicks we've had. You can see how much performance we had over the year, and you can see that we've driven a ton of lead form signups for previous clients. We can send you a little more of that information if you email us, but a lot of it's down below on the page. And lastly, what is included? Well, not lastly. Lastly is going to be the guarantee, but what is included in this? So if you choose to do business with us today, what is included in the package? So you get a rebuild of the existing website. We prioritize page strategy using the 80-20 rule. Again, 80% of what you have, 20% of what you don't. We do a complete SEO migration, redirects, metadata, URL mapping, all that fun stuff. We have a speed and technical performance optimization. There's a mobile optimization and accessibility. There is a CMS setup. So Webflow's CMS is so smart. It's where that ease of use comes in. And we will train your team on how to use that. I always say I will train the janitor, I will train the dishwasher. Pick someone on your team who has nothing to do with marketing or web. I will train them to update your website in 60% less time, guaranteed. There's, again, zero maintenance. So if you think about, even if you're paying $300 a month to maintain your site, that is, a little over $3,000 to $4,000 a year. So when you pay for us within a year or two, you'll already be at made up money from not spending it outward. So even if you don't update your website, you're still throwing out about $3,000 to $4,000 a year, which is like half the price of what a migration might cost you with us. And then after the fact, you have no more updates and no more monthly bills, and you could save as you grow. And instead, you can invest money in scaling your website. And there's also a performance guarantee. So if your website does not perform 2 times faster and maintain 90% of your organic traffic within the first 90 days of launch, we will work with you for free until it does. Or at the very least, we will reload your old website back on WordPress for free. So we'll actually save a backup of your website. And if you really hate what we've done in 90 days, we'll send it back. And the only reason we make it wait 90 days is because things take time. Google has to crawl the website. Google has to understand it. We have to kind of see how the metrics play out over a little bit of time. It would be very unfair to show you vanity metrics after 30 days and go, look at the speed boost, because there's still some other things we haven't taken care of. So the 90 days is really a buffer for you, but it's a guarantee. So if you don't like what we've done, we will move you back for free. We will get you right back to where you were, same ranking, same everything, no cost to you. So essentially, you're investing money in us to improve your website, to guarantee that it's not going to go any worse, or we'll move it back. And again, you're saving all that maintenance with us. So working with Trav Media Group is a save on money. It is a save on time, and it ultimately is going to trend upwards for your website. So that's a quick little overview. I don't want to get too in depth with this video because I don't want you guys having to sit here and watch a 20-minute video. This page has a ton of information on it. And again, at the bottom, there's a calendar. Please book a meeting on my calendar. You'll speak with me directly, and we can go through this and iron it out. And if you haven't seen, step 1 of this whole process is the free website audit. So you can find that on the homepage. It's also in the footer on several pages on the website, not this one. But you can kind of pan around. But if you go back to the homepage, you can hit that free website audit button. And what that's going to do for you is give you a 20-page printout that tells you all the things that are wrong with this website or your website and how you can fix them now. So even if you don't want to do business with us, you should still have some action items that might help you out today. But I will tell you, and this is as non-biased as I could possibly make it, Nothing fixes these problems like a Webflow rebuild. So again, if you're not even trying to do a new website, just investing in this migration is insane. You know, you can end up spending half just as much money trying to tweak your WordPress site, and you're still going to be playing whack-a-mole. So, you know, that's my biased advice. But again, take that audit. It's completely free. It'll guide you where you need to go. We like to hand out the treasure map for free. If you want us to crew your ship and go find that treasure with you, we'd love to do that. So thank you so much for your time. I deeply appreciate you guys, and I hope to be doing business with you.